Right. Just gonna prepare the stream, so bear with me 1 second. I've got no game sound. Right. Bear with me. Uno momento. I was getting very confused there. That's better. 1 second guys, I'm just gonna load up everything. You have to bear with me, it's the first stream I've done on this game. Just get everything up and ready. Discord. So Discord is updating. But yeah, hello everybody and welcome to SLR F1 League, and I am N87 doing some commentating here for you today, doing all the commentary for you today. Yeah, it's been a very long time since I've done any commentary, so it's going to take me a while to get back to it. Complexity goes to P1, and you have to bear with me with the names as well. And it's just been displaced by unlucky Celso. I think it's telling me it'll be Celso or something like that. Like Giovanni or something like that. Go Celso. The Silent Sea. But yeah, we've got a lot of new drivers. It's time to, let's say, introduce everybody. We've got a few people not here today as well. I'm just going to post this link in Discord. Ben, so listen to yours. Chat. And now we're ready. So, hello Yagi-san in chat. But yeah, I apologise for the no streams yesterday. Having a few teething problems there, but we'll be all ready for next week. It's also gone for a pole of a medium tyre as well. Really interestingly enough, in that McLaren, the beautiful McLaren. I need to get used to these liveries. It's the first time I've been on this game for like half a month, so should be interesting. We've got the Williams rider in P3 with the Italian teammate of Assi, GMCK, rounding out the 5 runners that we've had so far. We've got 13 drivers, should have 14 when the Dutch Hunter appears. And yeah, it should be really interesting to see if anyone knew. Obviously the challenges last season came from surface, Calcas, Dario, Dome, and obviously Connor, who's still here. All the rest of them have moved on or took reserve roles. Dome's in the reserve role, whereas Calcas surface and Dario have all decided to move on. Yeah, as we was talking about the favourites for the league, I think Connor will be the favourite, obviously winning 5 races last season, and showed a little bit of form at the back end last season in his Mercedes this time around. It's a beautiful black Mercedes. It's only just come to the game as well, so it should be very interesting indeed. But we're going to go on board with the Mercedes of Connor. He's heading round. It used to be a difficult right-hander, but now it's pretty much flat for these guys, using all the track. It's swooping in there, using the outside line as well. And then this is more of a late apex. Whereas you can, using all the exit, and it was a pretty decent lap for Connor so far. I'm expecting us to get fairly close, probably into the 14s this session. I'm not entirely sure, I haven't had a look at the time trial times. But judging by that medium run, it looks like 14s are definitely possible here today. He's using 4th gear in the hairpin now, and 14s, I'm just looking at my arse here, probably 13. As F1 Ferrari has gone to pole in his racing point. And it'll be very interesting, but here comes Connor into the pit lane, so that was a waste of a lap. He's on a lap. We've got Mebe on a lap, who's getting all sorts of understeer there. But I think he's carrying on. Anybody else out there on the lap? As Mem's Virus has gone to P2, 8 tenths off. But I expect it to get very close at the end of qualifying. But for now, it's F1 Ferrari on that provisional pole position for this testing race. This is where we'll see the pace of these 13 guys or 14 men that will come to appears, hopefully. Going around. Why is the screen? Okay. And yeah, I'm on board with Mebe at the minute, and he's AlphaTauri. He's heading around the final corner now, using all the coverage. It looks so slow, but in reality it's quite quick. Here comes Mebe to the line, and that puts him P3, 1:15.3, 1.2 off the pace. I'd be slightly disappointed with that. You'd be expected to get within a second of these guys. ASY is just starting his lap. And then soft tyres in there. That was very, very handy in that first couple of corners. It just went like a flash. But we're heading down now. We'll see what kind of second times we're doing. He's 2 tenths up on his lap at the moment. Obviously, it's very unrepresentative. 17.7, which is 3 seconds off the pace, but expecting that one to come down. Will he be able to get close to the racing points time in his Williams, beautiful Williams car in this game, in my opinion. Braking just after that 100 meter. He's going purple in the middle sector. I don't know if it's the same as the last game as in it's a glitch where you go purple in his personal best rather than best of the session. But he's going purple. There's a little bit of lag out there. So he's going to come round this final chicane, misses the apex slightly. So we'll see how good it is. The first sector looks very good, the second sector was purple. And what will he do up to the line? Oh. I didn't expect that. Well, anyway, he was meant to go to provisional pole there because he was on for it, and he's decided to stop. What GRG, or Dusty, on a lap at the moment. He's going around in the hairpin in his racing point, and we'll see what his lap times are yielding. For this flat out right-hander, this one used to be really, really challenging in the previous games. Ooh, but he's proving he's pretty challenging now, but it's pretty much flat out 6th gear from what I remember. In these cars, he's just got a bit of a tank slacker on. He's going to come to the end of his lap now, and we'll see if we can get near the top. We've got Cameron's going to come into the pit, so we've done a very good lap. Probably should lap forward. We've got Pablo Ocampo coming to the line now, as well as the Williams of Nick Ryder, who's just starting a lap, I think. Yeah, here comes Pablo Ocampo, and that's 15.6, which puts him to P4, but we're expecting these times to come down. I don't know if the medium tyre is going to be a better tyre, a better race tyre to start on. There's quite a few going with that. If we go with the best, there's actually only 2 that have actually done that. They're 4th and 5th at the moment. But there's quite a few people in the pits. Amwoy is going out as well. Go and set a lap. See what he's capable of. We're going to have someone who's a bit further around. There's a racing point. I think that's Ferrari, who's going even quicker than he did before, so he's putting up a nice challenge at the moment. Coming around the final few corners, will he be able to go a little bit quicker and assert his dominance? He was quickest in testing, so I'm expecting something here, but he's coming into the pits despite going a little bit quicker in the sector. I don't know if he invalidated it. And there's a Ferrari coming around as our GMC3 come into the pits. We've got the Alfa Romeo of Mems, who's coming around the final few corners now. And also we've got Williams who's jumped in the pit lane. And oh, Mems is in the wall. And he's going to be stationary. And he's got to do a bit of a turn. He's lost half front wing, but he's going to jump in the pit lane. And that's the end of that. And we'll pretty much got everyone in the pits. We've got Amway who's jumping in the pit lane. We've got Mebe who's a bit out of sync with everyone else. He decided to go on early. And we'll see what his first sector's like. He's improving by a tenth and a half, which is a little bit handy. Is it going to nearly runs out of track? He's using every bit of the track. Locks up, as you tend to do into that hairpin. It looks fairly clean so far. Into his left-hander, he's going to take it back fairly okay. Is he going to hold on to it? His 7th gear holds on to it. Yeah, his 7th gear flat, not 6th. As we're heading into the middle sector, he's 2/10 up on his time. Which is going to get him within a second of F1 Ferrari, but he needs a bit more. But we've got fairly unrepresentative times at the moment. We're expecting a few more people in them 4 teams at least, more than 2. And I think Mebe's actually invalidated his lap because it's showing red on the screen, but we'll see what kind of lap time he's doing anyway. 14.9 would have put him ahead of Mems, and it would have put him 8/10 up to F1 Ferrari. And now he's going to have a cool down lap. I'm presuming one fast lap, so I don't think he has enough time. But I'm expecting him to fall. I mean, nobody else has done really anything, and we've got a few people coming out the pit lane. But the times so far are fairly representative. Except for F1 Ferrari has gone for them with the soft type. But everyone else has gone mediums, to be fair. Okay. I will do something about that. I can't turn my actual mic volume up, but I can turn the audio settings down a little bit. Is that better? Mark, you can comment. But everyone else has gone mediums, so top 4 have gone softs and everyone else on medium tyres, so it's going to be very difficult to say what exactly the times are going to be. But it's going to be very interesting last few minutes. So we've got like 2 different pole positions really. We've got the first to 4th. And then the rest of them. So, I don't know. Unluckily, Salso has done that on the medium tyre, I think. Yeah, he's... Oh! And that's a horrific start to lap for the Pirate, and he's basically ruled out his medium lap. We got on board with the McLaren, and he got all out of shape. The first person to start their lap is GMCK in his Ferrari. And the number 5 Ferrari with a white and black helmet. And he's raced for Red Bull before, and he's raced for Mercedes before in Tier 1, and now he's got the Ferrari, so he's had all 3. The former T1 race winner. And making his return to T1. He raced T2 last season, won a few races in there. And really was putting a bit of a championship challenge on. Not quite on Legends pace, but on his day, definitely quick enough. As he's heading around the hairpin now. I don't know what sort of lap time he's doing, but it looks fairly clean from where we are watching. But will it be enough to be the best of the medium runners, let's say? But he's actually backed off, so he's going to go for another run. He's going for a second run. So okay, we're going to look back for a Renault. Oh, there's the Pirate again. All at sea. There's a Renault of Kelsey, who's going to jump in the pit lane, so that's the end of his qualifying. Who's next? We've got an Alfa Romeo on an outlap. And Mems is going to go for pole position here on his soft tyres. So I suppose we could stay on board with him. Unless there's anyone further way around. We've got GMCK trying to improve on his 15.7. And that is the most horrific sound. I forget about that glitch. I don't know how they haven't fixed that yet. It's been there so long. So many games. Qualifying is now ended. And the Ferrari of Pablo Campos has come to the line and he hasn't improved. We've also got an AlphaTauri and an AlphaTauri coming to the line. I think that's Mebe, who's missed out. Oh, now we're on board with GMCK, who goes P4 with medium tyres. Who's next? We've got the Alfa Romeo of Mems on that run that we're talking about. He's already invalidated it though. So that's the end of his pole position, basically. And then we've got Williams, is that... it's McRider. So we're going to see McRider come to the line here. Is he going to get in the 14s? Ooh, nice lap from McRider, 15.1. And Mercedes, is that Connor? Connor's going to come to line. Will he be able to get close? 14.9. So he's the one to get in the 14s on the medium tyres. 8 tenths off pole position. ASY has done a 14.9 as well. He's 8 tenths between him as well. Just nicked it in the end. We've got Mebe out there, who's not on a lap actually. And then we've got Amway, who's just going to come to the line with a pretty dismal effort. And one of the only people not to qualify. But 1.5 seconds between the top and the bottom. Obviously Ferrari going on the just going for the soft tyre run, whereas everyone else basically has gone for a medium. So it's very difficult to tell. I don't know what the difference is between soft and medium, but I think it's about what it is there, to be honest. 8-9 tenths. Previous games. But yeah, it looks close in general, but we'll see how the strategy plays out. I think Ferrari will be quick initially, but then we've got ASY, McRider, Connor in behind, who look very competitive. You can really look down to Kelsey, GMCK possibly, and Mebe as well. And Mebe's got to start on the soft tyres all the way down there. Mems is also on the soft tyres, who messed up his lap. And ASY will be very happy to be starting on the front row. What is everyone's predictions for the race? Put them in the comment section. And I will read a few out, possibly. I don't think the Dutch Hunter is going to make it. So we're going to say ASY is going to win from Gamer Mark. Robin says ASY, Connor, McRider for a podium. Oh, that looks interesting. There's weather around, guys. So this might explain the majority of the medium. But it looks a bit grey in the sky. If you look at this like top left-hand corner, that's all we've got at the moment. But it looks a bit gloomy. So are we expecting a bit of rain? I wonder. Could be very interesting indeed. As we're waiting for everyone to pick their strategies outside the top 10. I don't know what anyone else is doing, picking their fuel I suppose. But it looks like it's going to rain. So we should be in for a ride. I suppose the Pirate will be very good in these conditions. He's used to a bit of the sea. Yeah. Anyway. I've got to say the medium runners look favourable. Because I think the softs won't last. But look at that. It looks like it's going to piss it down at some point in this race. That's a very lovely camera angle watching everybody go past. But I'll load up the tyre strategy and the telemetry. And I think we'll go through the helmets for this year. Obviously we've got a bit more of a wide variety F1 Ferrari's got a white helmet, I'm pretty sure. But nice way. F1 Ferrari, it's just got pure white helmet. I think there's a black stripe on there. Ooh, ASY's looks very fruity. You can see so myself. Got lots of different colours. There's he's in the gravel, showing off his skill. Well, he's got a nice tiger helmet there, stripy. We've got Connor with his yellow and black. There's a bit of lag about it seems. That's a very nice one from Dusty. Riders is a nice blue. There's a bit more imagination this year it seems. Kelsey's got that black one that I showed earlier. Same with GMCK. Mebe has got like a blacky blue with his AlphaTauri, and it suits the AlphaTauri a little bit. So that's my opinion. Unlucky Celso will be very unhappy with his qualifying position, but it's got a nice white stripe. I don't know if I like that, to be honest. It's different, I give him that, but I don't know if I like it. And there's some red on there as well. It's very difficult to say. That one's like a Romanian flag. The Pirate has got like a blue and white, and then we've got Amway. He's got a nice. That's a nice helmet for the Mercedes. He's got black and green. But yeah, I think we're all ready for the first lights out of the season, the first pre-season race of the day. I'll be commentating on all three of them, so if we have the numbers for them, which is fairly debatable. But we've got the nice light sound, which we can't see, but we're going to go with this one because we can sort of see it, and we are lights out. We're lights out. Away we go. As we were waiting an absolute eternity. Mems has got an absolute beaut of a start. He's got the outside line though, which is going to hinder him. But Ferrari is in the middle of the two, and ASY has also got the jump on him. And oh, here goes Ferrari. He's in the wall, and he's already out of the race. So that's the end of him. The virtual safety car has been deployed very quickly. Must have like a very quick press of the button there. It didn't take him long to enable that, but we're already down a car. It looks like he got to the outside and hit his side pod or something, but I don't know if like had a lot to do with that. ASY's gone in AI mode. The AI are on 0, so be wary of that. But yeah, that wasn't a very good start from him. But it looked like they were just trying to go side by side, and he got on the outside and hit his side pod or something. But we'll have to see it after the race. But we are down to 12 cars after turn 1. We've had the virtual safety car, and we are go again. And anyone get any particularly great start? GMCK is up to 5th. A Ryder down in 6th. Kelsey also down in 7th now. Maybe 8th. Celso has dropped back. Has he got any front wing damage? Yeah, he's got half front wing there. Ferrari's left the session. But here goes Pablo Campo and Amway, possibly. I'm looking forward at McRider and GMCK as well. We've also got Dusty and Connor, who are very similar pace it seems so far. On the mediums, it's very difficult to see at the moment, but here comes GMCK. And that is a beautiful camera angle. And Mems is currently leading them away and nearly second clear of ASY. I'm looking at GMCK, who's coming under pressure from the Williams of McRider on their medium tyres. We'll have to wait and see. We've got Mebe as well. It's kind of, sort of a bit of a train. We've got the Pirate and Paolo Acampo having a bit of a move. Lucky Celso has already come in the pit lane for hard, so that's a bit unlucky for him. But we've got a bit of a choo-choo train up the grid at the moment. And we're waiting for someone to pounce. Waiting for that mistake. That's sort of what happens on this game. Everyone like sticks within that DRS, especially when the DRS opens. They stick within that DRS. Lift lap and lap out, so close on pace. but Mems will pull away initially because of them tyres. ASY is pulling away from Connor slightly. With Dusty just hanging on in there. GMC Keys dropped to that outside that DRS with McRider just outside as well. It's also good, as important to look after your tyres. As we saw today's British Grand Prix, not quite to that extent, but the more you look after the tyres, the more they'll come to you later on in the race. But we don't know who's good in the wet weather either. That could be interesting. But Dusty now, he's got it in DRS, he's sort of holding on. Connor is just pacing himself, it seems. Same with ASY, they've already dropped down about 2 seconds to the leader. Just biding the time, and McRider's in 3/10 of GMCK. Obviously, McRider got a podium in T1 in his one-off appearance last season. That's one of the reasons why he's in T1 this season. He's got his DRS open, he's using overtake mode, and his GMCK is defending with overtake. We've got the worst camera angle ever, but here we go. Here goes McRider to the outside. GMCK doesn't really defend, and that's McRider up into P5 ahead of the Irishman. Resuming battle up to P2. We've got ASY and Connor. 3/10 between them, and he's sort of pushing him along at the moment, with Dusty just hanging on to the rear of Connor as well. McRider will be hoping to close the gap. It seems like Jimsky just doesn't have the pace at the moment, with Klexi just hanging on at the moment, with Mebe struggling on them soft tyres, which is surprising because they're the fastest tyre, so maybe he's just fighting for the bottom end of his top 10. Paulo Campo's trying to keep up with Amway as well. And he really rode that curb, did Dusty. But here comes Connor on Assy. Into turn 1, it seems like the DRS is looking very strong. Assy skips to the inside, Connor goes to the inside should I say, I can't decide. But he's got the position, and that is Connor up into what is a theoretical lead, but we're not 100% sure about that yet. But I'm sure that Assy will stay within that DRS range for a bit. But Dusty as well is trying to hold on. Ooh, Connor looks very wide there. But McRider's now catching up. Seems like McRider has a bit more pace than GMCK, but GMCK can stay within that DRS. So they're all like going together, all these medium runners. Menz has picked up a penalty up in the lead. First person to pick up a penalty. So things start to get a little bit more interesting. As things start to play out. On board with McRider. So on board with his front wing as he takes a bit of bashing over the curbs. Mebe picks up his first penalty. And on board with Dusty as already Mebe is in the pit lane. So he's getting rid of them softs very early on. He's decided that they're not the type to be on. The medium runners are starting to catch up to Mems a little bit. 3 that lap. We've got an incident in sector 1. Oh, it's GMCK and he's around and in the gravel. He hasn't lost any front wing, so he can just carry on as he is. But that's a car that was fighting. GMCK's left the session, so that's the end of him. And theoretically down to 11 runners because he's going to be down with 0 AI. As we're on lap 6 of this Grand Prix. And trying to heat up quite nicely. So that's put Klexi in just a little bit behind McRider. With TRM Amway 5 seconds behind in P7, so inheriting that. Paulo Campo and him having their own little battle. Oh dear, we've got a rev glitch with McRider. But yeah, the lead has come down by about half a second this lap as Amoy picks up a penalty, and he's in the pits, so he's decided them tyres are no longer in use, and Connor takes the lead of this race. And I think it might be brightening up a little bit, so maybe it's staying dry, but you never know. Just unlucky Celso went for the hard tyre, which I didn't expect. So maybe it won't get wet at all, but we've known this game, the weather forecast, to be a bit dodgy, which I like a bit of variant. I don't like it always to be right. I think no one really should know what the weather's doing, because it adds to the excitement. Everyone will do something different then. I don't really think there should be a weather forecast, to be honest, but that's my opinion. Dusty's sort of hanging on, the DRS training each other at the moment. This is the top 5 we're talking about here, with Paolo Campo another 5 seconds back with Amoy, but Paolo Campo's just overtaken Amoy. There's oh, Dusty got really bottlenecks behind ASY there, he got a really poor exit, and still in DRS range just about, so he's going to be able to defend from Dusty, but only just, and he's not got a lot of overtake left, so he's got to be saving soon. Dusty looks more confident than ASY. McRider looks just as confident because he's been able to close that like 1.4 second gap, whatever it was before. So he's got a bit of pace in hand as well. And Klexi is just like hanging on to the curtails of it all, just in case something happens. But when these guys start battling, then things will start to happen, as we've seen before. Head round this right-hander for the 8th time. They're all settling into their rhythm. Klexi has got a penalty now. As ASY is looking at Connor. I mean, Connor's in on that DRS. He's used to leading races, and he knows the score, he knows the game. He's done it enough times. As ASY misses Apex, he seems to do that a lot. He's struggling around them last few corners. But he has gained on Connor a couple of tenths on this lap, so that'll make him a little bit happier. He's gaining the DRS. It seems like he's got a little bit more straight line speed in general though on a setup. Is Connor disconnected? What's happened to Connor? Connor's disconnected. Right. That's not fantastic. He's leading the race and now he's well, he's not out of it, but he's disconnected. That's quite unfortunate. So ASY is now leading the race with Dusty second, McRider third, Klexi fourth. Obviously ASY had to slow up because he didn't know what Connor was doing, but he didn't realise he wasn't actually here in the first place. So you have to check up a little bit. Well, these guys are really close now, as ASY is the one who has to defend from Dusty. Half a second between the two. And he's going to get really in range here, and he's going to get an opportunity here. Will ASY go defensive? No, he seeks the outside. He knows it's not the be or end of all, but Dusty locked up slightly into turn 1, probably made a mark on his tyres, and he's got to be careful. But Dusty is now leading the race. ASY second, McRider third, Williams 2-3. Kelsey in P4. Paolo Ocampo P5. We've got Amoy second back in P6. The Pirate is P7. Connor's just going to go backwards now. and Connor's rejoined, so he's going to try and get this race back, basically. He's going to do a Calcus, that's the way I'd describe it. And Lucas also as well, it's starting to spread out. We've got the top 4 there, so altogether it would be 5, but unfortunately a disconnection has cost us of that. And we've got someone coming out of the pit lane. Oh, no, that's just Dusty getting all defensive. All the intervals are all messed up. On board with the Williams of ASY. Mems has left the session. This is the problem me hosting, I think, and streaming at the same time. Things like this start to happen. But yeah, it's definitely brightening up the weather. Still at top 4 battle. And oh, Plexi gets a penalty for cutting the corner, the pit exit, and he's going to be the first one to jump off the medium tyres. He's going to go on hards, I presume, for the one stop. But Connor's now back in this race. Plexi will come out just behind Connor, I think, in his Renault. As he comes to the end of the pit lane, there goes the Mercedes, and it's going to be a lot closer than I thought it would be, but Connor is just going to stay ahead, obviously get to pit, chasing down the Pirate. Got McRider and ASY still together. These three have really been together all race. The Plexi going for the undercut, and would expect someone to pit. We've got GMCK's Ghost car just up ahead. I'm expecting GMCK Dusty to at least try and defend his position from Plexi, because he wasn't far behind, or at least one of them. But will the Williams stack? No, they've got to be mindful of that, McRider and ASY, especially McRider. Don't stack it. As the pit window is now open for the hard strategy on the side, which is a really nice feature to see that. So thank you, Codemaster, for bringing that in. But the pit window is now open. 13 to 15 is the window you need. And Plexi going for that undercut, going a little bit earlier, as Connor does the fastest lap of the race in anger, as he chases down the Pirate in his Mercedes. And here goes McRider. Is he going to get enough, close enough? And for McRider, if he wants to make that first, let's say, stop, then he's got to get ahead. ASY's had a shocking lap, by the way, because he's nearly 2 seconds off of Dusty, but I think Dusty might have used a bit more of his overtake just to pull away. And he's going to jump in the pit lane now, and we'll see if Plexi can make any damage, as McRider has to carry on, because otherwise they'll stack the Williams. So them two have both come in. Plexi is currently in the last sector. I think they'll be fine. Connor might endanger one of them, but they're out of their pit garage. Here comes Dusty, and then McLaren goes past, and here comes Connor. Connor's going to play havoc here as he gets ahead of ASY, but in between Dusty made that perfect to get ahead of the Mercedes. And Plexi has nearly got ahead of Assy there as well. So 3 attempts, it was very close, one more lap and he would have been ahead. That's for sure, but it looks like Dusty has timed that to perfection and he looks on course to win this race. Unless Mick Ryder has anything to say about it, but it'll be very interesting to see where he comes out in all this. He went very slow in that last few corners there, so he's not going aggressive, but he's going to jump in the pit lane now. It's going to be very tight. But I think McRyder will come out behind all of them. I'm going to have a prediction. Here he goes. Oh, they weren't even ready. What's happening? Oh, that's a horrendous thing. They wasn't even ready for him. Oh, he's come out well behind. Well behind, and he's going to get jumped by Mebe, who's already made a pit stop in this race. I think he's doing a 2-stop though. He's going to try around the outside, but didn't really make it work. He's dropped down into P5 behind Klexi, who was ahead of before, and he's lost 5 seconds because of that, so it's dropped him out of the battle as well. Which Dusty is currently winning. We're going to have a look at the penalty situation. So Dusty has a penalty, Connor doesn't have anything, which is about right. We've got ACY with a penalty, Klexi with 2, McRyder with 3. Ooh, there's a lot more penalties than I thought. So Dusty and ACY have the same amount, but it might come down to penalties this race. We've got 18 laps remaining. As Connor says, another fastest lap of the race as he's trying to gain back his advantage, get back in on these guys. So he had a bit more pace in hand. He just didn't use it early on. He was just saving it. But he's unable to use it while he's disconnecting from sessions. The SY seems to have better pace on these hard tyres initially over Dusty. But it's a bit early to say. But it's important to just say with Connor, just terminate that threat. I mean, there isn't really a threat there because he's going to be about 30 seconds behind, but make sure of it. Oh, he nearly lost it to the wall. Nearly did an Alonso. Nearly binned it on that inside wall. That's why very close. Got out of shape. Klexi is about a second behind these guys. Keeping the pressure on. But it looks like this race isn't far from over, but it's between these two it seems. Klexi's got too many penalties. And the rider's dropped off the face of the planet. But the surprise for me has been Dusty's pace. He's been able to keep it consistent so far. I expected him to drop off. But he's showing a nice turn of speed at the moment. And leading the race. And he could be taking his first T1 victory here today. Obviously SY as well is in that boat. Of all the guys in the league, the only person there's actually there's 2 drivers that have actually won the T1 race, or 3, including GMCK. We've got GMCK, Connor and Mebe have all won T1 races in the past. As now we are about halfway around this Grand Prix, and we've got 1, 2, 2 people out. There's Mems as well, 3. I think Mems has gone for his dinner. I think. So we're left with 10 runners. And a battle for the lead, really. There's ASY locks up there. Yeah, Connor, I think Connor is going for that safety car, but it's not forthcoming at the moment. Just finding it a little bit difficult. I think that's what he's looking for, because he's in the lead of the race, and if he gets that safety car, then he's going to be right in there with a shout. But yeah, that's a good point, Yegerson. I didn't really think about that one. He's going for the long game. So he's going to jump in the pit lane now, as it seems he's given up on that one. And he's going to come out around probably Amway and P9. Actually, maybe a bit further forward. Yeah, around Amway, I think. I think I've called that about right. With his teammate coming along the pit lane. And I think he's actually just ahead of his teammate in the other Mercedes, and that's him in P9 and P8. So not the result they'd like, but then we can focus on the top 3 as they all home interview. And penalties are becoming a problem here, because Dusty has picked up his 2nd, ASY only has the 1, and Kelsey has 3. So for Kelsey to win this race, he needs ASY to become another 2, and Dusty to pick up another 1 for him to be within this fight, really. But Ryder is not living the pace because of DRS, probably. So we've got 3 different constructors having a fight for this lead. It was a battle of 5, now it's a battle of 3. And it looks like this will be our podium as well, as ASY is looking to try and make a move on Dusty. He's going to go around the outside. Dusty's going to not leave any room whatsoever, is he? Oh, he does just about. They're going side by side. Round this right-hander, which can be legal. Oh, that was so close for the chop. Dusty nearly gave him the chop. But just about get away with it. So close between the two. But this is a great fight for the lead. And here comes James Sing's ghost car again. ASY has picked up that 2nd penalty, which is going to become more and more important as he realises by the end of the race that Dusty's also got 2 penalties now, and Kelsey has 3. But this is a great battle for the lead that we're seeing here. 3 guys on top of the game, going for it, and this bodes well for the season. We've got Paolo Campo Mebe and a bit of a battle as well. And look at Kelso's just a little bit further behind on them hard tyres, 17 lap old hard tyres. I don't know how long they can actually go, if they go to the end or not, with Connor closing in. So that'll be like a secondary battle, as Mebe has actually pitted, so that ends that, and so is Kelso. So he's not going to get to the end on that. Dusty is still leading somehow, but he's managed just to hold on. Connor sets the fastest lap of the race on hard tyres, so showing his pace. But anyway, we're on lap 21, 12 laps left after this one, and at the moment the podium stands at Dusty SY and Kelsey, which nobody actually guessed would be the case at the start of this race. So it's nice to see something a little bit different. None of them have had T1 podiums, so it's nice to have some different guys up there. Ryder just in behind. Well, just in behind, 6 seconds behind. Connor is trying to close down on Paolo Ocampo in P5, doing a solid job. He was originally placed in T2, but after his strong showing in the pre-season race, the testing, we've decided to put him in T1 this week, and he's showing exactly why he should be there. But we're now on to the final part of this race, the final third of this Grand Prix, the Racing Point, Williams and Renault battle, which we've had pretty much all race. I'll have a look at the leader. So Connor's 18 seconds, so Connor would be leading this race, but I don't know if the front three could go any quicker. They're kind of pushing each other on at the moment, but yeah, can't argue that Connor probably will be leading this race without that. These guys could have stayed within DRS possibly, so, but Connor's just blitzing the fastest lap every lap. Unless Celso has decided to get the fastest lap, so having a bit of a ding dong at the moment with that. Obviously Clexy's tyres are a little bit older than the front twos by 2 laps, but the kind of DRS training, it looks like Dusty's got just enough pace to stay in the lead of the race, but only just. But here goes SY on Dusty, not close enough yet. I've done a Crofty. But looking further down the field, have we got any other battles? We've got Lucky Kelso and Mebe. These two have been together for a bit, and he's going for an even faster lap. Connor is 3/10 off his fastest lap, so we'll see if he can get the fastest lap. No, just a tenth off. So it's all nice and spread out now, except for these three up front, which Dusty has been leading for a while. But the two behind him will fancy their chances still. They're definitely within the fight. SY's picked up another warning, so it's warning close to that third penalty. Whereas Dusty hasn't picked up anything. Clexy has picked up a 4th penalty, I think. No, it's still in 3. No warnings. But they've been very consistent the last few laps. 17.7 for SY, and also 17.7, so they've been very consistent. There've been not a lot of mistakes in there. We head round this right-hander. Been an intriguing race. It's been like strategic, but this is what we're expecting from this game, a bit of a train as such. It's very difficult to overtake. It's like last game really, but the DRS can be powerful if you don't have it. Like Dusty's done a great job to lead the stream. We've got King B, or whoever he is, joining the session, but so he can buzz off. So he seems a bit closer, it's like 4/10. So will SY be able to mount a challenge on the lead of this race? He's been stuck behind Dusty for so many laps, but here he comes. Williams is going to jink to the right, he's got the inside. Well, Dusty, oh, a little bit of a love tap, but Dusty manages to hold on by just taking the less compromised outside line, the racing line. Obviously it turns to the inside line for turn 2, and that just about did it. SY just about held on to the car. There was a bit of contact, but he didn't have much room to work with, did Dusty. So it was fair play, it was hard but fair, I'd say, on that one. Racing incident. Klexi is also 4/10 behind ASY. You can see one mistake could be the differences. Unlucky Celso in his McLaren got past the AlphaTauri of Mebe for P9, or the wooden spoon position. Here comes SY again. 4/10. I think he's going to back out of this one. He isn't using his overtake. I think Dusty will start to save his overtake with 7 laps to go now. He needs to pick his moment. But 14 laps on them tyres. It's going to be very, very close. As Connor says, another fastest lap of the race on his pursuit of Paolo Campo in 5th place. A few people have got penalties, so we'll double check the leaders on that. So obviously GNCK still got them 2, he's got a warning though. Same with SY. And so pretty much the same with Kelsey's got the 3 penalties still. As we head on to the final few laps of this Grand Prix, it's been intriguing. And in many cases a little bit boring, but sort of what we expected around this track. You can overtake, but you've got to be quicker to overtake. And just to sort of holding on, I think SY is the quickest of the 3. But he's unable to get past so far. So he's unable to get that drive out last corner. He can get within a few tenths, and then that's about it. He's saving his overtake. And I think he's going to wait until later on when Dusty can do nothing about it. It's very consistent in a minute. As unlucky Celso goes for that fastest lap. Looks like he's going to get that over Connor. And the Pirate has been overtaken by Mebe, and McLaren aren't having a great day either. Back to the lead. It looks like Dusty's starting to stretch his advantage, trying to get everything. He's saving his overtake. All 3 of them have got a fair amount of it. Oh, he's got the issue, the unspoken issue of the rev glitch. And as we head on now to lap 29 of this Grand Prix, yeah, it's looking like that. Although I feel sorry for Kelsey. Here, because he's been within like 4/10 the whole lap, but he can't do anything about it because ASY has the DRS. There's nothing he can do. He probably can go a bit quicker, but he's kind of stuck with this DRS problem. If Ride would have been there without that pit stop problem, and if he'd kept within DRS, he could have kept with them. Was dropped off on pure pace. Connor is caught up to Pablo Campo. That's going to be a move that's probably going to happen soon. He's closed down about 6 seconds or something on the stint to him. But back to the lead battle. It looks like Dusty's going to overtake this one, unless any penalties or a poor exit somewhere or a mistake has anything to say about it. But he looks very consistent at the moment. Flexi is a lot closer to SY than SY is to Dusty in this lap, especially 9/10 is the gap, but I won't give on up it yet. I'll double check the warning situation on this one. Been very consistent in this last stint compared to the start. And Flexi gets his second warning. Actually, he's picked up a penalty, so that rules him out as a winner. He's got 4 penalties, but we'll have a look at McRider. Oh, he's got lots of penalties. 4. But how many's Connor got? Nothing. Nothing. Because he's got past Pablo Campo, by the way. So Connor is in a theoretical P4 on penalties at the moment. Which would be a pretty stunning drive, to be fair. As we're going to go on to lap 31 in a moment. In the 6th attempt, is he going to use his overtake button, or does he think he's going to get a better chance somewhere else? He's not using his overtake, but he's going to use his DRS to keep him. He's sort of waiting. Maybe he's saving his overtake to the last lap, just to blitz a lap or something. Just do something to challenge him. Connor to 3rd would be difficult. He's 15 seconds off of Kelsey and he's got 12 seconds worth of penalties. Unless he gets another penalty, then that's not really going to be a problem. Although he's just picked up a penalty. So yeah, that isn't out of the question actually. He's bottled a podium, I think, Klexi. He's trying to transfer the lead. So, yeah, you're right. It's just over 15 seconds, I think. He's 17 to leader. Yeah, it's just over that. So he's got 2 laps to try and keep himself in range. SY has now got only 1 opportunity. And I think he's been waiting for his last lap, very patiently. And I wonder if he can use it to full effect. It was a little bit wide into there, but carries the speed okay. He's got, let's see, I think 3 chances. 1 into here. Probably won't happen due to dirty air, because I have to lift so much. But yeah, Connor, I don't think he'll get it, but it's getting close. He's got to do a Lando Norris to get that 3rd place. As we're going to final lap, no rain came in this race, but he's using all of his overtake, he's using DRS, and I think Dusty has read his mind because he's using his overtake as well, and it's not really going to be enough for SY, and it looks like Dusty's going to get this win. We'll double check the penalty situation for the front 2. Nothing, and nothing for the last few laps, so the situation remains unchanged. That's why I'll try on that back straight, but that's all he's got left. But it looks like Dusty is going to claim the win here, and it looks like Kelsey might hold on to that 3rd place, but hold that thought. I think it's about 15 9 seconds or something like that between him and Connor. But the Racing Point has driven a calculated drive. To be fair, he's got a purple last sector as well, the middle sector here, so he's driven a very good last lap. He's had it in him. Oh, there we are. Kelksey gets that other penalty, which will make Connor on the podium as he comes around the final corner, and Dusty's going to claim his first T1 victory with the worst camera angle ever. And a 6 Dusty is on the podium with ASY second, Kelksey third initially. McRider will come home. He gets that 3rd place, but it will be Connor who will get that 3rd place out of all of them because of Did he get a penalty in the last lap? Or did I miscount? He must have penalties because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So McRider is on the podium. He must not have counted his, but he must have had penalties without us knowing about it. He must have done. Paolo Campo 6th, Lucky Celso 7th, Amo Amway 8th. Driver of the day, Paolo Campo. I disagree. I think driver of the day for me was well, Dusty, I suppose, claiming the win. I mean, Connor drove back really well, but the penalties cost him. But for me, driver of the day is Dusty. He's driven really well there. First win of his campaign. Obviously not official league race, and F1 Ferrari will have something to say about that as well. He has left the chat, but I'm going to try and get him back in at some point. I'll have him back. But they're your podium sitters. So we've got Dusty, SY and McRider, and we've got 3 Italians all there together. I'm streaming. Hey guys, would you like to see some interviews or not? We'll see if we can get anybody in. Why does he want an invite? Crazy. I'll see if I can get anyone in for an interview. We'll invite to party. Oh, I made a party. Oops. Bear with me. We'll see if we can get anyone to talk. I'm not expecting, but we'll see. I was in game chat all along and I didn't even know. Oh, I forgot to take a picture of the results. I'll have to take a screenshot out of there. But we've got one person. Do you speak English?
Yeah.
Oh, good. So, you've had we've got ASY here, he came second today. What would you say from that race from your point of view? It looked pretty, let's say, static from the front.
I mean, I had this little contact with Ferrari on turn 2, but I think I haven't touched him. And then from that point on, the race was still, as you said, it was a bit static because I wasn't behind that racing point for the entirety of the race. I thought I had a chance on lap 28, I believe, when I tried to overtake him, but it was rough to overtake, and so I settled for this P2, which I consider it as a very good result from my first race here. So a pretty boring race because, you know, few overtakes and really few chances to do it.
Yeah, it seemed like the race was made in qualifying, basically. Who was fastest on the mediums? Obviously, Ferrari. We didn't really see his pace because it ended at lap one, but hopefully he'll come back next week and make a challenge. But yeah, for overtaking, it looked a bit of a slipstream festival, like 5 of you all together. There was a little bit of contact with Dusty as well in the lead, but nothing
Yeah, but
major.
we managed to
Just about.
continue a race.
It
Yeah,
looked very
yeah.
close. But yeah, it was interesting. Did you expect any rain in that race?
No,
It was
well, I was
cloudy at the
worried
start,
about it
though.
because I thought it was cloudy, as you say, and but I checked on the weather, and the engineer told me that there was no chance of rain through the race, so I was relieved a little bit, and
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, because I haven't practiced on a wet Spain, so so I was a little concerned about whether there will can be rain in the race.
Okay, so how do you rate your chances for next week in Bahrain? Obviously, a little bit better for the overtaking. Maybe going for the softs in qualifying. Maybe getting that pole,
Yeah,
possibly.
I think I'm pretty good at Bahrain, but at least I was really good at Bahrain last year.
Mm.
But I haven't seen the real pace of. So I think I could be in a fight for a podium, and that would be great for me.
Hmm.
So my aim is to achieve that podium.
Yeah, definitely. It looks really, really close. So every tenth matters really in that respect. Um, yeah, I ain't got too many more questions. Has it gone how you expected it to go, pretty much? Testing and
Uh,
this race?
yeah, because since the qualifying session, I was pretty confident on my pace because I was the first on mediums, and even though I screwed
Mm.
up a little bit of my lap, and so I was pretty happy about my P2 on qualifying, and so I knew that I had a pretty good race pace, especially on hards. So yeah, it's quite an expected result for me. So yeah, I'm pretty. I was pretty. I was expecting to be in a fight for at least a podium, and that's it. I ended up in P2, so I am kind of happy.
I know I've asked a similar question before, but what would you be happy with this season with going into it, other than winning?
Well, I am going to say it again. I want to wait to see F1 Ferraris and Connor real pace, and then I will judge my real pace too. But definitely, I'm going to aim for at least the first 3 position in the championship. That's
Yeah,
what I'm aiming for, and I hope I can stand up to that.
also in the constructors, it looked very good after this race as well.
Yeah, my teammate McRider did a really good race.
The pit
So
stop
cheers to
screwed
him
him.
too.
Unfortunately, he was stuck in the pits for about 10 seconds longer than he should have done.
Yeah, it was something like 2 or 3 seconds before the pit stop, and then he came up with something like 7 seconds. So I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, so it was a very interesting race. So I was waiting for it to get going, but it didn't really. It was down to penalties, if anything.
Yeah, with one with one less corner cut, I would have won. I think I had 6 corner cuts.
Yeah,
One less, and I would have been on top today. But I'm
definitely.
pretty okay with the results. Anyway,
But it is what it is. It doesn't look like anybody else is going to join us, so I'm going to round it out here. Thank you everybody for racing tonight. It was a pretty good race to be fair. Um, hopefully we can get more numbers next week. Legend as well is really really quick. Zert and these guys will be able to be
yeah,
back
raced
next
him.
week.
I thought that I raced him in Monza on last game, and it was very quick. Yeah, I have to agree with you. It's
So
really quick.
it's gonna be really really exciting. I'll be here next week. Hopefully we can get some different commentators as well to join me. So yeah, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. We'll be doing T2 in about half an hour time for another commentary. So I'm gonna get a dry throat very very quickly, but there we go. So yeah, thank you everybody, and good night really. Bye.